when you say make America great again, that word again really stands out to a black person, to many black people. And to that, you probably roll your eyes. You say, oh, black people complaining more about shit, about racial shit. You don't have any issues. You don't have any kind of significant racial issues. Slavery doesn't exist today. Jim Crow doesn't exist today. You're not being oppressed. What the fuck are you complaining about, black guy? And to that, I say, cool. But what I'm talking about is the again and how that doesn't make sense when considering black citizenship in this country, or the lack thereof. Langston Hughes wrote a poem in like the late 1930s, and it was called Let America Be America Again. If I'm not mistaken, Let America Be America Again. And he was saying that let America be the freedom ringing, hard working, beautiful thing that it is. And then in parentheses, he's like, America was never America to me. And he's talking about let America be this, let America be that. And it was never America to me. And at the end of it, he's saying that even despite the fact that America was never America to me, yet still it will be. So he's not even like saying fuck America. He's just pointing out that America was never, all these benefits that you supposedly get from being American, black people for centuries hadn't experienced it. And so to say make America great again is to sort of sweep under the rug how not great it was towards an entire group of fucking people, and that's black people. And so cry me a river, right? So what do you want? Do you want reparations? Do you want white people to get on their knees and beg you for forgiveness? Nah, I'm not saying. I came from a background of privilege. I haven't had any kind of significant hardships. The most racial conflict I've had throughout my life from 33 years old is being called nigger repeatedly when I used to play online games. From the age of 15, first played Rainbow Six, Rogue Spear, Counter-Strike. As soon as people heard my voice, nigger, nigger, nigger. Now, in person, I've never experienced that. Thank God, because I'm scared because I don't know what I would do. I don't want to go to jail and shit, or I don't want to risk my life because someone triggers me or they antagonize me. I prefer not to be enraged by that because it would be hard for me not to do something about it were I to see that and experience that in person. If nothing else other than just to fucking humble somebody or attempt to, because who knows, I might get my ass kicked, but that's not the point. But the point is that I'm not coming from some place of black power. And I'm coming from a place of human power, and I'm on some fucking honesty shit, man. It's similar to when somebody wants to rewrite the past in your family or in your life. Somebody who just completely fucked over you, right? And now they're good and they're a little bit better, and you're like, why do you want to talk about the past? Why you want what's the past got to do with it? It isn't like the past fucked me up. What are you talking about? Or the past fucked up the family that fucked me up. And that's what the thing is about Make America Great Again and not acknowledging how terroristic this country was towards black people. You're just not being fully well-roundedly honest. And that signifies a lack of credibility, a lack of good faith. That, see, in politics right now and in our conversations, there is this inauthenticity, this disingenuous kind of approach, or the extremely tribal approach, something that I've been very focused on for several years now. Because I noticed when I first began meditating and doing other healthy practices and realized, and I agree that like this race shit is stupid as hell, especially now. More than ever, it's dumb as hell because it is so stupidly obvious that black people and white people are not that fucking different, and especially if they come from the same environment. It's not that serious. We're not that different, and any differences that we might genetically have aren't such to where they should cause any kind of significant rift between us, as if we're just like these completely different beings. We're not completely different fucking beings, and so we're all humans, and that's not coming from a place of idealism. To me, it's coming from a place of fact. And so, to not recognize that America, not only was America not great towards black people, America straight up raped black people. They fucked over black people. And you might say, you, Marcus, you weren't affected by this. You weren't, but I'm talking about just the pure acknowledgement of it. There's something there's something unhealthy and not right about, just like you, as a perhaps a Trump supporter, as a white person, just like you hate when black people don't admit that rap music has all kinds of shit in it that contributes to the negativity in the black community, just like you hate when black people don't admit that it's all kind of black on black crime, just like you as a white person, when you hate when black people, don't just fess up to their faults and their flaws, the ones that are glaringly obvious collectively, the ones that are imposed on by themselves at this point, and it's not because white people are going in there and saying, hey, y'all should kill each other. It could be argued that I believe that the deterioration of the black community is definitely, I mean, how could you not be honest, acknowledge that hundreds of years of being oppressed and purposefully disorganized and negatively affected, how could that not affect the people of today? Yeah, but then I know you don't like hearing that shit because you think, oh, you're excusing it. I'm not excusing any of the misbehaviors in the black community. I can't stress that enough because that's constantly clung to. That's constantly this defense that, white people, many white people are very honest about their fears in a very indirect way about this when they acknowledge this too. They're like, you don't want to feel guilt. Like, well, me as a white person, I didn't do anything to you. It's not, again, it's like American guilt. Like when I see people just create like 100% starving in the third world countries and their lives are completely, utterly shit. I, as an American, have an American kind of guilt, a first world kind of guilt. And it doesn't inform my every action, but it should nudge me in certain directions. That guilt, it should make me more appreciative for what I have. It should make me feel like, damn, I'm glad that I have the little luxuries, even hot water and constant access to hot water and food, for just being one of them. It should amplify my appreciation, and I should want to. It'd be dope if I were to contribute to them. Like, if I could just give $1, I should be doing that, to be quite honest. And it's fucked up that I don't. I should be looking at more, something called, I think, effective altruism. And those things, need to be done. And I'm a piece of shit. I don't. But at least acknowledge that you have it better, or you have had it better. So when I look at them, and let's say if I hear their viewpoints and they just sound extreme, as somebody from third world country, they sound, let's say if it's a guy my age and he sounds like he's about as smart as a 10-year-old, like, how can I feel superior to that dude? Why should I feel superior to them? Why should I look at them as inferior when I know damn well they didn't have nearly anything close to the advantages that I had? And so that's what I'm saying about this. Like, it kind of perplexes me a bit. And then again, it doesn't. The white guilt thing, the fear of having white guilt, the fear of giving black people an inch. But I understand what it is, because then it's like, then black people are just taking it and running with it. Black people are just using it as an excuse for their own misbehaviors. If I, as a white person, acknowledge that black people have been shit on by America, then that means that black people get a pass with all the wrong that they do. No, it doesn't have to be that way. It can mean, I guess I'm way more idealistic than I thought, like, after considering everything with Trump and stuff. And I thought that religion, because I'm not religious anymore, I used to think that was what made me idealistic. But I realized, man, I do believe that we can have something damn near close to a social utopia at the very least. Even if everyone doesn't live in fucking mansions, we can at least have a kind of social harmony that is just more fucking, at least as advanced as our technology, because we clearly are regressing. We are so absurdly tribal. This Trump shit is absurd. And I'm not saying that I don't feel, my heart isn't with the Democrats. My heart isn't with the Republicans. My heart truly, and your heart should be too, if you care about shit. It's just with what is going on. My heart is with what's the facts of the matter. what's honestly going on and how can we honestly talk about it? This point system that we have where somebody comes in, I'm an alpha male, or with these fucking titles on these YouTube videos. He alpha mailed the fuck out of that guy with his intellectuality. Intellectuality in conversation, that shit should be so much purer than it really is. It shouldn't be about winning. And that's all everybody fucking cares about is winning. And so the reason I don't know, I didn't even see what the fuck happened with the MAGA hat wearing kid, right? But I don't believe anyone wearing a MAGA hat should just be like knocked upside the head or anything like that. I don't believe that, just getting outraged immediately is the answer. Honest conversation. Where is the room for that? Where's the room for acknowledging that, like, look, make America great again. But listen, man, when you say again, you know, for my black aunts, for just like my grandfather, my grandparents, even my father, who was called a nigger just when he told to get out nigger when he went to a diner, this country wasn't great towards them. And so I can't feel in tune with that message, because until you as Republicans acknowledge that black people have been completely, utterly fucked over, until I see some compassion, you know what I'm saying? Because like I have a lot of issues with the black community as well, and I don't let it, and I take issue as well with black people not taking issue with anything in the black community. But at the same time, how I cannot dismiss the facts of history. Black people were fucking dehumanized for the majority of this country's existence. So why it's not so confusing as to any kind of the state of affairs of the black community, any kind of negativity that exists. It's not perplexing when you consider the history. And again, I mean, I say this quote all the time, but it's a beautiful damn quote from David Brooks, a Republican. No matter how social this organization gets started, once it does get started, it takes on a momentum of its own, magnifying disorder from one generation to the next. And I feel like that perfectly encapsulates what happened to the black community. Like slavery, Jim Crow, these things caused a social disorganization within the black community, and the disorder was magnified from one generation to the next. And a lot of black people rose above it, but that is an indication of the power of black people and how they're not just these fucking animals or whatever a racist thinks they are, and how, like, you see how they've triumphed, and you see that they're clearly just as smart as white people. They're clearly just as capable as white people. And so this racist shit is stupid as hell. And a lot of Make America Great Again people, the suggestion is definitely that America was better off when blacks were second-class citizens. And I don't know how, just like, let's say if I claim to be a Democrat, if I claim, or if I was like, I can't with any kind of confidence or with any kind of excitement claim to be of any party, right? But let's say that if I said I was a Democrat with the mentality that I have right now, I would have to admit to you that, yeah, they're Democrats. The left fucking sucks when it comes to talking about religion or talking about Islam. We can't be honest about it because immediately you're an Islamophobe, and that's so fucked up and so unhealthy. I would admit that shit. I'll admit all the shit that's wrong with the left and all the things they do, because I don't care, because I'm not trying to represent for the Democrats. Y'all are messing up trying to represent for the Republicans and just trying to be on Team Trump. You have this dude who is like your unquestioned king. Like he's your unconditional king. It's for the sake of the moving your party forward and for winning. But I hope y'all see what's the cost of it. You're costing yourself. You're causing your honest muscles to atrophy, man. And I don't think, and honesty, self-honesty to me, or being honest in general, I don't think it's a virtue just because human beings say it is. I don't think it's one of those things that, like, you know, man, if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for religion making honesty this thing, like, people would just be lying all the time and shit. That is probably true, but what I'm saying is that honesty to me has an objective benefit. It makes you much more fluid in your thoughts, and in your in your approach to certain kinds of situations. I usually hear Judge Judy say all the time. I know it didn't. I don't think this originated with Judge Judy. Clearly, yeah. But if you're honest, you don't have to have a good memory because you just remember shit. That kind of thing. Honesty has benefits, is my point. Honesty makes you feel free, and to me, when you act like Make America Great Again isn't suggesting or isn't sweeping things under the rug when it comes to black people. Obviously Native Americans as well. And that shows my bias. I'm talking about black folk. But black folk in recent history were just utterly and completely dehumanizing. People really don't, I feel like a lot of non-black people really don't appreciate that. And to me, the point of appreciating that is to then develop compassion, develop understanding, so that we can talk about shit and have a better understanding of each other and have better harmony. It's not to gain an advantage. It's not so that black people can have the moral high ground. And yeah, a lot of black people do try to use that shit to gain the moral high ground and to beat white people's head over it. But man, fuck them. And a lot of white people completely dismiss, a lot of white people on your side completely dismiss history and act like, just a few decades ago, when again, because it's my dad, he had to sit in the back of a church, even though you think a church is the one place that they wouldn't care about segregation or care about racial factors, but it's like, no, your ass need to sit all the way in the back. You think admitting that wouldn't be a problem, but it is for a lot of people in the Republican Party. They don't want to admit that shit because they are fucking racist, because they don't think favorably of black people. But we need to be on team human, ultimately, is my point. It needs to be on some human shit, and like, you know what we should be, you know what we can all say? Those that came before us, they tried. And this country's and the best of us in this country, they were trying, and it's a trial and everything. Our evolved standards of decency mark the progress of maturing society. So says Chief Justice Earl Warren. Even though that is a bit out of context, but still, we continually evolving. And I don't look at white people and think, oh, these people are the devil. Like, y'all the ones who killed my ancestors. It's not on that shit, man. You weren't there. I wasn't there. But the point is that it fucking happened. That's the point. It happened. And its effects undoubtedly still resonate today. And so, Make America Great Again, it was never great again. Again, the Langston Hughes poem, man. Let America be America again, but it was never America to me. And so to act like that's not true, to me, it's just, you aren't doing yourself a favor, and you aren't doing anybody a favor by acting like that's not true. Rise above the bullshit is my point. If you don't want to admit these things because you don't want to give the high ground to somebody, then you're doing it wrong. And that's why our country is in the state that it's in, with this bickering and childishness when it comes to conversation, because nobody wants to admit shit. Nobody wants to give anybody an inch, because then they lose. But we are the ones who are sanctioning this. We are the ones who are enabling this kind of behavior, man. Or we're letting the stupid people enable it. If it's not you, then we're letting them do it by taking these sides. Fuck sides. Be on the sides of just fucking truth and health. It needs to be about health, man. To me, health has a lot to do with trying to be as reasonable as possible, trying to be as sensible as possible, and then trying to be inclusive with what you think the solution to be. And it looks past race. It looks past this. It looks past that. If you want to go just purely economically, sure. We could just try to help. We can reframe it. Let's help poor people. Instead of saying let's help minorities, we can say let's help poor people, because shit, it's intrinsically is going to help minorities by helping poor people, and you're also going to help white people by helping, because white people are also poor. And so if we focus on that, cool. But don't try to act like history never fucking happened. Like, this country didn't clean over black people. Just like how you don't want black people to act like there's I've seen so many comments like this. Oh, black people, you're such saints. Yes, yes, you never do. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of black people do act like there's nothing wrong in the black community, and I fucking hate that so much. It bothers me so much. I've always hated it, and a big part of that is because they don't want. It's the same reason why you don't want to acknowledge shit. Black people don't want to acknowledge shit about their community because they feel like they're giving you points were they to acknowledge it, and you the Trump supporter don't want to acknowledge anything bad because you feel like you're giving them points. Fuck this point shit. This point shit is ruining us. This shouldn't be a game. Let games be games and let this not be a game. So Make America Great Again, the suggestion there to me is that, or rather what it overlooks is that this country was not great at all to a huge amount of people. Not just blacks, not just Native Americans, but to gays, to women, to people who are disabled. It's like to so many people. And that doesn't mean if you're a white male that you're intrinsically evil and shit. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is what it is, man. And so let's do something about it. Let's be better for the sake of flourishing. For the sake of, I do think America, in so many ways, is a dope ass country, and I respect what the founding fathers, the framers, were trying to do, and I respect that their approach and how they try to harness reasonability and sensibility as much as possible, despite the flaws, despite the obvious fucking flaws that were going on. I mean, they were trying to do something that I think that obviously was good. And was for the better eventually. And so let us grab that torch and keep this shit going. We are taking 20 steps back in this shit by being so absurdly tribal. By acting like there's some kind of profound difference between us. And there's not, man. It's not. Don't let them, I feel like they sucker you into it. These politicians and shit, they make you think that they're on your team. They ain't on your fucking team. We need to get the people that are actually trying to make sense and that don't care about winning just because, man. And they aren't, and they're authentic and genuine. When you hear a politician speak, you know damn well, if you feel like me, you're like, ugh, you are so fucking fake, right? They're all so fucking fake. But you choose them, you like them, because they're part of your party. You will cling to them because they're part of you. You think they're on your side. Yeah, right. They're on their side. They're just trying to do what the hell they can do to win, and you're eating that up. Fuck that, man. Think for yourself, and let's be together. Let's harmonize. I'm done, man. Oh, I'm at 22 minutes. Yikes. Okay.